The season of exposure, family, is not yet done. It is just the beginning. We are so interested when we are looking at what is happening right in the nation because many names continue to be coming out, more and more exposures coming out on issues that have already been exposed and those that have not yet been exposed. We are waiting every day that passes by to be hearing of a new other exposure as the files are going to be exposed through the factionalism that is happening in ZANU-PF. Guvamatanga George is fingered in the Chivayo-Zec scandal. So this is exactly what we are talking about. The last time we had names coming in the Zec scandal, including the Zec Priscilla Chigumba, Zec chairperson, Isaac Moyo, the Director General of the Intelligence. We also heard about the we also heard about the guy who is in the presidential office. What is the Rushwaya? Yes, Rushwaya guy who is also in the presidential office, as those that are included in this very ugly deal of a tune of up to 40 million. So looking at this happening, you'd find that the other time we were discussing on the show, and we said that this is more people than the people that have already been exposed, because there are people that would also be responsible for the payments. Those people that are responsible for payments, they will be paying for projects that they've not seen, for maybe procurements that they did not physically see whether these things were really delivered, and they would just authorize payments. And I said that people in the accounts, people in the record keeping, in all these ministries where scandals are happening, they are also part of that. They also have their small percentages that they also received. Otherwise, there is no how that they can also find themselves, becoming complicit in these deals, becoming part and parcel of the deal. Somebody will have to ask questions. Somebody will have to stop a certain process to verify things first. But it looks like whenever Chivayo has been given a tender, there is no verification that happens in any office of government. It means everything will just be going from one desk to the next, and everything is just signed without even questioning or without even doing any kind of due diligence. And that's why we find that names will continue to be coming up. Names right now, even the smaller fish are also going to be implicated later on when the heat really is turned on. So George Guvamatanga is said to have hastily paid 25 million for the ZEC ballot papers invoice after Chivayo, and a senior intelligence official approached him. Emerson's people say the president had advised Guvamatanga to institute further investigation. How much was Guvamatanga's kickback? So this is George Guvamatanga. So knowing that he was working as the secretary secretary of ministry, secretary of the Ministry of Finance, he was authorizing these payments, and he did that without even doing any due diligence. But it is because he was getting kickbacks. You remember, just yesterday we were talking about the other deals of Guvamatanga, where he was paying contractors and other big payments of government, and he would ask for a percentage, maybe 20%, that would be given to him for him to release the monies. And of course, we know of the story that we talked about, how Guvamatanga was fired by Mnangagwa this very last month. He was fired by Mnangagwa, and then somehow he came back. And the information we got was that he ran and he wept before Kuda, and Kuda went to negotiate for him to his father, and then it was easy. And then he continued to be there. But the question remains, why did Mnangagwa fire Guvamatanga? What had happened? The story is still there. The fact that he was restored, Kuda intervened on his behalf, and he was restored, does not mean that whatever reason he was fired for, the issue is solved or the issue was non-existent. The issue is there. The issue exists. But something had happened, and that is the issue we want to be looking into. Probably it could be this very issue of the payments. I don't know. But we are going to be knowing it very soon. These things are coming out slow but surely, slowly but surely. And we cannot rule out that more names are going to be coming out. We cannot rule out that more documents are going to be seen. We are not ruling out that no more scandals are also coming out. And many companies are also going to be exposed, especially the bogus ones. Mostly what they do, the ZANU-PF guys, they open bogus companies. You still remember what happened with the scandal for the for the PP, what do you call it, the COVID scandal, the COVID scandal, which saw the sacking of Minister Moyo. What happened there? People like Delish Nguaya had opened a non-existent company. It is just a fake, bogus briefcase company that they will just open, and then they use that to steal the money, to have money transferred and things like that. And the investigations were done, and only to realize that that company was just a newly opened company. It never existed, and the history of the company that they'd given for them to win the tender, was just a fake history of having done this with that, knowing that they were all telling lies. But of course, they will quickly get the tender because it will be having the muscle of Mnangagwa behind. So that one had the muscle of Mnangagwa because the twins, the Mnangagwa's children, were also part of that deal. Not even part, it's actually the owners of the deal. You would find that people like Delish Nguaya are just being fronted, just like the Pomona deal that is happening in Harare. That one is a Mnangagwa deal, and Delish Nguaya is just being fronted to do that. The same way that Mnangagwa fronts Wikino Chivayo. That's why it is very difficult to arrest Wikino Chivayo. That is why it is very difficult to arrest Kudata Gwire, because Tagwire is also fronted by Mnangagwa. So when you arrest Tagwire, you have arrested Mnangagwa. That's why it's very, very difficult for these guys to be caught. That's why you find Wikino coming out and declaring to Arakash and all the ZANU-PF people and all Zimbabweans to say, Apana Zvamunombondita. And you still remember that video where he was bragging that he's protected and nothing can ever happen to him. Well, it is true that nothing can ever happen to him now because he's still being protected by Mnangagwa. But is he going to be protected forever? It's not going to be forever. There is a time that is coming where he is going to pay dearly for this because Mnangagwa is going out. Mnangagwa is collapsing. Mnangagwa is on his way out. And once that happens, all those people that are enjoying this protection from Mnangagwa are not going to like it. They are going to, pay so dearly for all these deals that they are doing, for all these shenanigans that they are doing, the siphoning of money from ministries, from government, from the nation, from all the proceeds of the nation, taking these monies out and enriching themselves. They are going to pay very, very soon. And it's not far from now because right now Zimbabwe is at the verge of getting to a new phase of turnaround of events where Zimbabwe is getting to be free and ZANU-PF collapsing. So this is what is happening. We are watching to see how far things are going to be coming out, how much things are going to be coming out. And we are seeing already that people like Guvamatanga being involved. He also has other scandals that are personal, and many, many names are going to be coming out, and even more scandals being exposed. It is a season of exposure. Let's continue to watch as God is exposing the enemy. God is making sure that ZANU-PF will remain naked before the eyes of the whole world. So these are some of the things that are going to contribute to the total collapse of Emmerson Mnangagwa's administration, and of course, eventually the collapse of ZANU-PF. So we are saying, let exposures continue to come out. Those that have the files, let them continue to release the files because this is the time. This is the season of exposure, and God is in it. Freedom of the Zimbabwean people is on the horizon. So thank you so much, family, for joining me on this show. Continue to subscribe, to like, and to share so you can continue to receive notifications each time that we are posting or we are live on this very platform. Thank you so much for those that have joined me on this one.